welcome back to another Build Battles video.
Yes, and today we're not going to be doing some
that?
crazy intro.
No. Well, you were just over there going, oonch, oonch, oonch.
I was dancing. Anyway, yeah, today, no crazy intro. Because today, we take this time to be thankful and look back on this past line. Mitch, I think that you can agree with me. This line went way too fast.
It did.
It seems like we just started this one.
The first line, like,
It felt like forever. Not in a bad way, but it did.
To a degree, it feels like the last 10 weeks of our YouTube careers have just flown by.
Yeah, Quarantine Club.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, so today what we are going to be doing is we are going to be recapping all of our last 10 builds. This is going to be episode 10 and a half.
10.2.
It's
no, it'd be 10.5.
Yeah, it's like Lion King 1.5. It's good, but it doesn't make sense. Anyway, so this week we started off. Should we recap our own builds for each side?
I mean, we can trade back and forth recapping.
Okay.
You can do the first one, then I do the second, etc.
Okay, so like I recap both the boxing rings and then you do both the unicorns? Is that what you're saying? Okay. So this week was boxing ring, and here's why this was such a significant week. This was the first legendary of the whole series, and I think that I built it, and I think that I can mainly point my success to the fact that I made boxers that weren't terrible. Like, these boxers are actually pretty legit for being made out of blocks.
Yeah, trying to make characters and stuff like that in this sort of thing is, but if it works out, it works out.
Yeah, and this time it worked out. So, yeah, Mitch basically said that there was nothing wrong with this build except for the gates, which I had, because apparently boxing rings, you just kind of go over the ropes to get in. There aren't any gates. But yeah, at that point he was just nitpicking, and he gave me my first ever legendary. And over here is Mitch's boxing ring, which is also very good. I like how he included the Jumbotron. I just felt like the boxing ring, in the process of trying to make a stadium, he just kind of rushed it a bit and took away from the boxing ring itself. So yeah, for those reasons, I gave him a green. But it was a very creative build.
Also, I just noticed I did the same design on my boxing ring I did on the zombie.
Oh yeah, you did.
It was not intentional.
Mitch on it, Sheikah Colt, ?
Okay, so now we got week 2 of this line. And this is one of the worst weeks we've ever had.
For sure. Basically,
so
Mitch's, yeah.
What is that? I can't tell you. What is that? It's a platypus.
With a horn.
With a horn. And a pink fluffy tail. This was overall a bad week. Your build, the color choice and stuff works really well for unicorn, but then the horn on the one side just completely ruined the look.
And it's hard to make a horse now too wide, okay?
Yeah.
But
then you got my build, and
you put Leapfrog's face, you copy and pasted it onto a unicorn's body, and there you go.
Yeah, this was I'm ashamed of this. If there was one build I could just make never happen in this series, it would be this one right here. I'm okay with the piggy bank.
Okay, well, speaking of piggy bank, let's move on. This is also one of our worst weeks before we had redemption the rest of the line. So, as you can see, my pig itself isn't terrible. The background I put around it, like the table, it's not centered on the table, so then I try to put something else, and now there's just this sloppy looking alarm clock that doesn't have any numbers. I didn't even put a slit in its back to put coins in. And yeah, it's just on a table. Over here, Mitch didn't make a table, but he did put planks here. He put... he made pencils that are super out of order. Normally, the wood is in front of the lead, but this time he put in front of the erasers. And then, yeah, and then there's just this glass of water. He did make a coin slot and put coins in there, but over here, the diamond block for the mouth/nose/snout kind of threw me off a lot, so we both just decided, you know what, we're going to give each other pink. Not terracotta, just concrete. So yeah, right. To match the pinks.
We both built them out of.
Yes, so yeah, Mitch, you get to cover what is, in my opinion, our best week ever.
I was actually going to start this with, I think this might be our best week ever. We got our campfire week. So I guess I'll start with your end. We got your campfire, which really nice, legitimately one of my, like, the only reasons why it's not a yellow. Two things. First off, the wool doesn't look as great as it could for a fire, which to some degree is just because it's hard to find a great block for fire. But then also the logs are much larger than the fire. Also, you don't really have the surroundings a bit wonky. It's like great build, just a couple things that throw me off just enough for it to drop from legendary. And then we got my build, which was my favorite.
Listen, I know that Mitch isn't gonna brag about this, but let me tell you, you don't need to look up the word perfection in the dictionary, because that's what this build right here is. There is absolutely nothing wrong with this build. This is about as perfect a campfire as I have ever seen. I knew that Mitch wasn't going to say that about his own build, so I said it for him. Sorry I took over for you.
But yeah, the campfire's pretty good. The smoke billowing from it with the glass and stuff like that. Because, like, one of the things is with campfires, like you did, you know, for whatever reason, they just give weak sauce smoke. And that's Mojang's fault. But yeah. So overall, making actual smoke was really the only way to make it look really nice. And then got the ash at the bottom and the rim going around. And yeah, it's a pretty nice build.
So now we move over to tennis court. And these 2 weeks are significant because it's hard. I kind of made people work again. I did not make good rackets and also I did not put any lines on the tennis court itself. Barely put any surrounding things. I find it funny that Mitch and I have both remembered the judge's chair right here. But
wait, I just realized yours is off center.
Yes, it is. And I just realized that too. I did not realize that before either. But neither did you. And it's past history. But yeah, there were multiple people in our comment section that weren't very nice to me, saying that these looked like plungers. And they were right. But I was so proud I thought of this for tennis racket. But yeah, cobweb would have worked. It would have been so much right. And then over here, Mitch, of course, second week in a row, pitch perfect build. Look, the net's perfect. The judge's seat is perfect. Like, the placement of trees, like grass around it. My only complaint was the wall that he put around it, because first off, the blue really clashes. You don't see a blue wall like this very often, but mainly it's because there wasn't any gate. But at that point, that was just nitpicking, so I gave him a legendary.
Well, and the two things about both those complaints is, one is in actual tennis courts, they do the blue walls, and two is the doors blend into the walls and you can't see them.
Yes, Mitch is a tennis expert. So
I've seen like 2 matches in my life, so yeah, tennis expert. Yep, I agree.
Yes, and even I've seen like 10.
Okay, so now we got the race car week, where I built Platypus.
uh,
So ultimately, the main issues with my build came more down to some stuff that like either A, I didn't have enough time for, or B, I just didn't do well. Like for example, putting these player heads on the front. That was a very last minute move, so I just plopped it out front instead of finding a way to put it in the car. And stuff like that. There are some things that are amazing, like the sponsorship sign. You got
legit, any
the
light beer
Toyota.
sponsorship like doesn't matter, and then Toyota sponsorship. That was one of your redeeming factors, and the car sat kind of low. But anyway, I'm not gonna steal your job.
And then we got your cars, which, you know, there's some things like the road doesn't have a border, which we actually tested putting it on. It looks way better with one.
Oh, so much better.
And like there are some things like that, but overall, they look amazing.
Yeah.
Like
for the record, this was a really good week of ours, like third week in a row. We are terrible at building vehicles. We thought that this week would turn out to be the worst, and it turned out to be one of our best. So
yeah. So overall, he did a really good job on it, and they're not very accurate to real life race cars, but let's be real. If you think race cars in any pixel setting, this is going to be the sort of thing that comes to mind.
Exactly. So now we move over here to Dollhouse. And as we've said before, Mitch and I are not bronies. So this week, okay, I built this. This could have been okay. I could have made it into something, and like over here's where you stick your arm in to play with stuff. I just threw random details in here last minute because I couldn't think of anything else. I tried to make it like on a smaller scale, and I don't know where time went this week. It just went out on me so fast. Meanwhile, over here, Mitch had a very nice build, and like it was a pretty good dollhouse. The only I forget exactly. So like for these, I didn't really like the dolls per se. It is a bit of an inside joke though where that came from. Overall, like the whole thing, while it's pretty good, not gonna lie, there are like just a couple of things that I feel like he could have done better. So he was borderline legendary on this one because honestly, I had no clue that any of us, I did not think that any of us could pull it off, but yeah. Just a couple things held him back, so he got a blue.
Okay, and then we got the boots week, which my side's pretty self-explanatory. We got some nice stuff down in the shoes.
Right? I will not show my viewers that. It should be censored.
You had one in your hotbar.
It actually will be censored. There we go. Actually, what am I doing? I should have just done X3. That would have cleared my inventory.
So, these boots they're not the most well designed, but I got through, you know, every Minecraft set, and let's be real, if you look at what Minecraft boots actually look like on a character, they're just squares, so, you know, that would have been pretty bad. But I still wanted to go for the Minecraft boot design, so this is what I ended up coming with. And then we got ripped.
And honestly, I thought it was really good. It just could have had a bit more detail. Like, you know, it's like being made in a factory instead of being made by an artisan.
Artesian?
Yes. Got a problem with that?
Yes, but let's move on.
Okay.
Then we got Riptide's boot, which, like, as far as legendaries go, I will say it is on the lower end. Because there are some things, like the dimensions for the boot do feel a bit strange and stuff like that. But overall, it's legitimately stuff that's nitpicking so far that it's not worth, you know, dropping a grade for. So, like, I like it. It looks like the the way the brown wool looks on it does look like poop, but so yeah, I will say it's not my favorite build of the series for sure, but he did a really good job on it, and you know, my personal taste shouldn't take away from the fact that this is a really good build.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, boot week, very nice. Now, we move on to the zombie week, where Mitch and I were we had such similar ideas, but we're at the same time so far apart. So, first thing, there was a running joke that we did not go off of the Minecraft zombie. Obviously, we did. So, therefore, our pants and torsos are almost exactly the same as far as coloration goes. Also, if you notice, I used 2 shulker boxes for the nose. Mitch did not, but it's the exact same pattern for the nose. So, here is the main difference. Mine was tall and slim, and his was thick. So, both of them were similar designs, just one was thin, one was thick. So yeah, we both just decided, there's a lot of things that could be better about them. Their faces aren't that good or anything like that. So we both decided to give each other green, basically. And yes, he did use the same design as his boxing ring.
I don't know how.
You must really like that design.
So like, it was supposed to be an X, but the proportions were off for an X because it's even, not odd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I accidentally built mine even too. Anyway, shall we move on to our last build?
The gym.
Yes.
The wonderful sign with the M that still feels very weird to me.
It's like GY. It's like GY McDonald's.
It's totally the McDonald's M, and that bothers me for some reason. But
anyway, yeah. If you guys don't know, on the last week, week 10, yeah, I know it's weird. We have a 10 and 10.5, but for the last week, week 10, we do a joint build. Also, I just realized entities are cleared every single time, which means that the cows are not here anymore. Actually, no, they are. They are here. It's just the leads aren't there. So basically, imagine. Okay, let me do this real quick.
Okay.
And then polished. Okay, yeah. So imagine a whole row of things that look like why can't I hook it? No one liked you anyway. Yeah, imagine that. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with me. It's not connecting because, yeah.
Huh, but yeah, it basically connected.
It connected in the recording. It connected to the fences. Okay, so when I was in charge of building the equipment, Mitch built the main building. So basically, I pictured these as when people pull back on the ropes to either side for like an arm workout. Over here, you have your yoga mats, and I came up with this quick design for treadmills. And then over here I came out with this design for workout benches and Mitch's beautiful monitor that crashed.
It's just binary code, man. Just binary code.
So yeah, Mitch, would you like to say anything about certain lighting?
So we got the lighting. I know, shocker, right? But fence posts with lanterns hanging from them. I think they look good. I don't think they completely match the theme of a modern gym. Because you'd more expect like lighting in the ceiling, like sea lanterns in the ceiling, which is what I probably should have done. But
listen, overall, we have a medieval gym. Deal with it.
With treadmills.
With treadmills. But yeah, guys, basically this was this line. In my opinion, it was probably better than our first line. There's something special about the first line that it's probably going to remain on top as our favorite, but
it's something about just sitting here and seeing the quadruple
Wizard Barleys.
turn. There's 5 of them. You can get all 5 in frame at the same time.
Anyway, yeah, so there's something special about the first line, but the second line was good, and yeah. Here's to the next 10 weeks, the third line, which we've already beaten down the path to start construction there. So anyway, guys, Mitch and I would like to thank you all so much for watching this Build Battles video, and we'll catch you all in the next one.
Bye-bye.